West Country.
Wednesday, no, it's Tuesday. What day is it today? Well, we'll figure it out. It's a lot of sunshine today, that's for sure. but you know what Tuesday means? Tuesday means we get a chance to catch up with Pete Elmstead to find out what's going on with the old winter weather conditions. And boy, I tell you what, Pete, it looks like it's going to be, well, no, there's no snow still.
There is not a flake. I just cannot get over this.
Isn't this crazy?
It is crazy. Yeah, it's nuts. We're getting the cold weather today, but yeah, we still don't see any snow, and that's why we're going to talk about what is possible for tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Freezing rain, snow, all that.
Yeah. And here's the big thing. How much winter driving experience have we had this year?
Absolutely zero.
Exactly. So be ready. And right now, and it's usually this way with freezing rain or mist, it's so hard to predict when and where and how much. But the fact that it's in the forecast means that you got to be ready, especially like we were just talking about, since we have had little to zero winter driving experience this year. And ice is probably one of the hardest things to deal with. So make sure, and I know we've said it a lot, but I know people also, human nature is to put it off unless you need it. But make sure your vehicle's ready. Make sure you've got a full tank of gas, right air pressure in your tires, have that winter survival kit. Take your cell phone with you, make sure it's charged, make sure you've got a charger, because one of the things, at least in our area, with what we're seeing is right now, as far as the preliminary forecast, is it could be kind of spotty. So that's almost worse in my mind, because you're not prepared for it all the time. You can be driving and it's fine, and all of a sudden you hit a spot where there has been some freezing mist or freezing rain, and you end up in the ditch pretty quickly. So be ready, and we'll see what happens. Pay attention to the forecast. 511ia.org and the 511ia app. We actually have added another layer. We had the colors with the green and the blue and all that. We have now added blue with dots and purple with dots. That means partially covered with ice or completely covered with ice. Again, it'll be in the legend on 511. So we've added a few more layers to try to make things even a little bit more specific for your driving conditions. So again, we may get a winter event tomorrow. We haven't said that very often this year. So be ready.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that at all, Pete, as far as the forecast goes.
Yeah, no, and the funny thing is, Jay, that's why it's so kind of hard to deal with right now, is some forecasts you're seeing are saying maybe some light snow. Some forecasts are saying you're not going to get any snow unless you're north of I-90 in Minnesota, and some are predicting ice for us. So it's really, really hit and miss. So that's why you've got to be prepared and be ready. And this day and age of the fancy internet, we've got all kinds of different ways to try to keep on top of things. So make sure you take advantage of all those sources of information.
You mentioned the slipperiness. It could the big ice, black ice, and not use your cruise control either.
That's a very good point. Yeah, and like we were mentioning, if it's so spotty, you could be driving 10 miles on perfectly dry pavement, and all of a sudden you hit a quarter-mile stretch where there's ice, and if your cruise control is on, that can be a bad combination. So you're a very good point. Make sure that you are driving yourself. Don't let the vehicle drive for you.
Yeah, can't wait till we all get those autonomy cars or whatever that we have no control whatsoever.
Yeah, and man, in some of the larger areas, I'm hearing stories. I believe it's out in LA and stuff like that, where they're picking people up at the airport like that and taking them where they need to be. And yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, but it's something that's coming, and we'll see how it works out, and we will address it as it arises.
Yeah, autonomous cars. That's what it is, not autonomous.
Yep, exactly. I got you.
I want to make sure you knew this redneck knew what I was talking about.
I was going to let that one slide. I don't usually let it slide, but I was going to let that one go.
Oh, look at that. Pete's being nice today.
Yep.
Anything else you got on the winter side of things?
Just a heads up that our crews, we're not going to. I talked to a couple of our shop supervisors this morning, and Everything is forecasted for like maybe mid-morning tomorrow. So we're not going to go out today and pre-treat because we'll have crews in, early tomorrow morning at their regularly scheduled time so they can go out tomorrow and do what is needed and what the conditions call for. So our crews may be out on the road tomorrow, so be aware of that as well. And yeah, be ready because, like you said, we haven't had a lot of this to deal with this year.
Yeah, it's going to be drive safe, everybody, because we all know how it goes. First
wear
round.
Wear your seatbelt and stay away from distractions. Probably the two most important things that'll keep you safe.
Yeah. Listen to Pete, positive Pete. He's got it all going on for you right there.
Let's hope so. Let's stay positive and say, nope, it's going to miss us, and we'll go another day without having to deal with winter conditions.
Right, exactly. Hey, Pete, big weekend this past weekend. Not the Pro Bowl, not the golf, but the groundhog.
The groundhog. Oh, I forgot he was even varmint and around.
Here's what I don't get. We make such a big deal about this, and we talk about it here in the Midwest. Punxsutawney Phil. Well, Phil's out in what? Philadelphia.
Right.
Well, why do we care what the weather is out there?
Here's the other thing that makes me laugh about it. So he saw his shadow, which means we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter.
But that's out there.
Yeah, and that takes us to what, mid-March?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, shocker. Winter till mid-March.
and if people haven't heard this yet, that I've been talking about this whole thing, Punxsutawney Phil's only right about 35 to 39% of the time.
Is that what it is?
He's ranked 17th as a groundhog weather predictor.
Oh, funny. Yeah, I know that there's I can't remember the names. I just heard them this weekend, but I think there's something in Des Moines that they use as well.
Is there one in Des Moines?
Yeah, I can't remember the name. I just heard it on the radio this weekend. I had never heard it before, but it's more of a little fun event, I think, to kind of get people's minds off winter for, 20 minutes and have fun.
What we need to think of something up here. Pete, you and I should do that. Have
something. Let's do that. Let's do that next year. Let's figure something out. We will have our own
prediction.
Little varmint February day and see what we come up with.
Well, we got a whole year to work on it.
All right. Challenge accepted.
Okay. Because you know what I'm going to go off of right now, because this sounds much better. There's a Buckeye Chuck or whatever. Have you heard of Buckeye Chuck?
I have not.
See, that was the closest one that I saw that was in Iowa, in our area, because that's all we care about.
Right.
We don't care about out in Philadelphia or California or what the weather's doing there, because it's always nice out that way. But and he says 4 more weeks.
4 more weeks?
4 more weeks. So I'm going with Buckeye Chuck right now.
Where's he out
of? Ohio.
That's right next door.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's pretty close. I thought, well, I'd rather go. And he's right 75% of the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang, that's impressive.
I know. So I'm going with Buckeye Chuck. I like the 4 weeks because it seems like the Punxsutawney Phil's always getting the 6 week. He's always seen his shadow. So
is Buckeye Chuck a groundhog as well?
I have no idea, Pete. I have no idea.
I don't even know. Probably some guy who watches TV and goes outside and says, "Yep, 4 more weeks," then goes back in. His name's Chuck.
Walks out with a cigar and a cold beer, scratches his belly, going, "There's my shadow."
Oh goodness, yeah. Could you tell I don't put a lot of faith in those forecasts?
Bring it up to a meteorologist and watch him squirm.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
while you're carrying a farmer's almanac.
Exactly. Boy, I tell you, they'll light right on fire. But so we'll work on that, Pete. We got to come up with a clever name. You know what we should do is have people text in and tell us what maybe a clever name for Pete and I. I don't know, what do we use? Do we use a pig? Maybe we use a pig. We could use a little baby pig.
Yeah, we could use. Yeah. We got to find. I like that idea. We got to find something, and we'll have our own animal prediction next year.
Yeah, I think a pig. That'd be perfect.
So are we gonna have it like if it sees its shadow, or are we gonna have like 2 trays of food where it comes out and eats from one that says 6 more weeks of winter or 10 more weeks of winter? Or
oh yeah, Pete, we can do that.
Yeah.
But what if it goes to both?
That's whatever one goes to first.
Okay. All right. So there. So we need a name, and we need a pig, and we need. I just think a pig would be awesome. We make national news, Pete.
I'll come up with the name. You find the pig.
I can find a pig.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll have. Yeah. Let's have people text in 641-494-2. And if they got a good name for, I think unless you have another thing, but I think pig would be perfect because Iowa.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, I was gonna say a pig or a chicken, but yeah, pig definitely works.
Yeah, but pig's easier to catch than chicken if it gets loose.
Well, are we gonna let this out in the yard, or are we gonna have it in the pen?
I think we just go right down to Central Park.
Oh wow, now you're really getting adventurous.
Or where do you think we go?
I was thinking like some farmer's place who has pigs, and you just put the food out and let one pig out and see which one he picks.
Well, we could do that. But
we got time to fine tune it. It's not next week.
That's right. I know. But we want listeners' input on this too. There may be some ideas, don't you think, Pete?
I would love that. I would love that.
We have a big stage set up in Central Park here in downtown Mason City.
Yep.
I'm thinking
we'll throw this out now, and then we'll start getting more serious about it as we get into next winter, so that people get some thinking done, and we'll I'd like that.
I'm liking that idea too.
Perfect.
Pete and I are going to make national news with the help of all the listeners.
That would be wonderful.
That'd be fun.
I'd rather make national news for that than some other reason.
Well, yeah, I know. Kill my country boys and bring out Porky the pig. Oh, yeah, I tell you, yeah, I'm just waiting for people to, yeah. Well, I don't have my text line up. That's why I can't.
Do you think Al Roker would be offended if we called it Al Porker?
Al. Oh, we might get national news on that too.
Yeah, possibly.
Why not, right? Yeah. So we need people to text in names. 641. That's the morning.
Yep.
641-494-2547. Or if you want to, social media, you can, message Pete or put it on his timeline. I'll put it on I'm going to put it on the Morning Rush Facebook page.
Perfect.
Well, wait. We want people to see it though outside there. We don't let them take in the idea.
We've already started it. If they take it now, it's already taking our idea.
Yeah, true. Excellent, Pete. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. Again, stay on top of the conditions tomorrow. Everything's pretty iffy right now, so be aware and start thinking of names for our ground pig.
Ground pig. Yeah. Yep. He can borrow in, because pigs, they do that. They dig into the mud and get cool. In the summertime, it gets hot here.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, okay. All right. Cool. One more prediction for the Super Bowl. You watching it? Who you picking?
Oh, I'm definitely watching it. I don't know. It's just so hard to go against Kansas City. They've got the experience. They've got Patrick Mahomes. They've got Andy Reid. Yeah, I don't know. If I had to pick, I would definitely probably go with Kansas City.
All right, Pete. You're gaining listeners and fans just from saying that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, people calling in already.
I was hoping it wasn't PETA.
All right, yeah. That'll be the next thing. Pete will be sitting out to bring out the pig for the. All right, so you're going for Kansas City. I wish they both could lose, but I'm guessing Kansas City's probably going to win it again and make history, which would be kind of interesting to see.
Well, like I've said, I understand people always end up cheering against the dynasties, but it'd also be kind of fun to witness history. So we'll see what happens.
Well, either way, the beer's going to be cold,
and the snacks will be awesome.
Exactly. And what I'm drinking for the Super Bowl?
What's that?
Garage beers. But you know what that is?
I was just going to say, well, isn't that anything you drink in a garage?
Well, no, there's actual garage beers.
Is there really?
Yeah, and come to think of it, actually, they're sponsored, or they sponsor like Kelsey's, Jason and.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So apparently, so then if I'm drinking that, then Kansas City's probably going to win.
They sound like they've got a lot of people and a lot of different things going for them.
If I go for the Chiefs, usually whoever I pick to win is going to lose. So
Gotcha.
that's kind of what I'm doing. A little reverse psychology, Pete.
Strategy.
Yep, exactly. So I'm going to drink garage beers that sponsor the Kelseys, and say that the Chiefs are going to win. So we'll see how Philly comes out on Sunday.
We will see. Should be good. I really like to see a competitive game, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens at the end.
We'll just have to see. All right. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. We'll catch up next week.
All right, sounds great. Thanks, Jay.
You worked hard for your money last year. You deserve more for less during the tax refund sale.
There's a few good stories making the rounds about jump ropes, kittens.